comments. Oh, is it morning? It is morning. It is I, Xenius, your potentially favorite space elf, and I am here in the middle of the night because I can't sleep. And I don't know, it seemed like a good idea to just pop on and potentially chat with whoever comes through. So, come through, I guess. If you're feeling feisty, if you're feeling lonely, you just want to hang out and watch me talk to hot anime guys, that's certainly a possibility. Let's see here. I'm going to start a new game on this. To 0. Okay, so the music is copyrighted and we'll need to put a different music on it. So let's see here. What are we feeling tonight, chat? You have any... Let's see here, some dark, gothy tunes, maybe. Let's see here. What we got? Songs with guitar, songs with drops. I don't know, just drops. Happy, brain food. By mood, EDM feels. What else they got here? Chill pill, my life is a movie. What does this sound like? Also, that might be a little more upbeat than I was expecting. Wanderlust. What's this? This could be okay. Lost Ark inspired. Game and chill. Lo-fi. This isn't so bad, but I don't think it fits the vibe. It's all about the vibe, chat. Well, this could work, maybe. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I think it should be going. Yeah, that's going. Older audience, contains mature content. Okay. Player discretion is advised, chat. Hopefully, comments, you are old enough to consume visual novels and with violence. Oh, yeah, I do accept this. Your choices matter. This is the tutorial, by the way. The decisions you make may result in unique dialogue. Okay. Choices in red text, which contain exclusive content. Nice. Demo more than once and choosing different options. Choose wisely, save often. Okay. Let me make sure I turn this down a little bit for me. Okay. Left click, progress. Mouse wheel, rewind. Alright, so up, rewind. Down, progress. Spacebar. Okay. I like that it's letting me know, because it's... I don't know, I played this like a year ago. Oh. What is my name? Xenius. Desire chat, Xenius. Alright. Options. Okay, so it said to turn the music down to 0, which we will do. Text. That's fine. Basic. Everything else is good. Okay. Choose your pronouns. Where? Oh, we're gonna go with they, them. Because these are my pronouns, in case you were wondering. Well, it's these, them, but they, them is also acceptable. Okay. So I guess we're getting into it. This world began to unravel long before you were born. Is this the right music? It's gonna have to be. It all started with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality were so thin it split. Wars. Okay. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect, others were mindless beasts driven by little more than bloodshed. As unrest spread and cities fell, humans cowered in fear while monsters thrived amid the chaos. And then there's you. That's me. Or us. Technically, it would be us. You don't know what you are, but one terrible truth is certain. You were born cursed. Okay, it's just red. With hands that alter the minds of those you touch. Choose your backstory. Okay, what is our backstory? The unnamed, a fallen oracle. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priests claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it was. Spurred on by the mage's word, you fled in search of the cenobium. Cenobium? Yeah, cenobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul. An innate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presences. The exile, a solitary survivor. You were exiled to a life far from civilization. Your only kinship was with an elderly hermit who taught you how to survive in the wild. He lost his life in search of a cure for you, but left you with a final lead to pursue the cenobium. You're a seasoned survivalist, well versed in deciphering soulless behaviors. You've gained fluency in various languages and an uncanny intuition for detecting danger. The alchemist, an abandoned mage. An exiled cenobium mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the cenobium, seeking a cure. You're an experienced spellcaster with an encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With a little observation, you can identify subtle effects of the magic. I think this one? Maybe? Exile? I don't know how much it matters. Let's see here. Do we want premonitions? We want to have... Well, you know, fluency in language is nice. Would be spellcaster. I don't know if I like that one. I like the hermit one. I'm feeling hermity today. We'll do exile. Did I click it? Is it clicked? It's clicked. Alright. Your name is Xenius. My name is Xenius. You selected they, them pronouns. Z, them. Anybody listening? Who cares? Your backstory is the exile. Is this correct? Yes, this is correct. Oh, yes. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death, the ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but honestly, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. I can hide my hands and deflect probing questions, but sooner or later, people always suspect something strange about me. As rations grew sparse and canteens ran dry, tensions rose. Despair began to set in until I saw it. Whoa. Iridia. No, Iridia. We're gonna go that way. This city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world, and home to the famous academy called the Snobium. Jim! It's Pikachu? God damn it. What? Pikachu? What do you mean, bro? I feel like I missed something. Is Pikachu the exile? It's not Pikachu. No. Maybe? It could be. If you want it to be Pikachu, we can roll with that. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's there. It's late for me, but wanted to pop in and give a smile. You did exactly what you set out to do, and I appreciate you for that. It's late here too. I just, can't sleep. But thanks for coming by. Hanging out for a second, that's kind of nice. It's always nice. Mission accomplished. I'm going to bed. Yes. Sleep well, Jim. Sweet dreams, all that. Okay. It's there. Yes, okay. Iridia. This is where we are. All that stands between me and a new life is a final stretch of salt-soaked waste. Or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. Oh no. Hushed voice. Is this fogfall? Can I save? Let me save this. Yeah. My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm, more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. Ooh, nice transition. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, snuffing out the lantern's light. The wagons lurch to a stop. An eerie silence, heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Stay back! No! I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just rolling with it. Comments. You can take it or leave it, I guess. I'm mostly entertaining myself. The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. Oh, that sounds unpleasant. Oh! I forgot the sound effects are on. This has been so quiet. Then the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. When I open my eyes, adrenaline lends sudden, awful clarity to the carnage around me. A trader I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to long strips of torn muscle, gleaming gristle, and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. Oh. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding, white blossoms across my vision. Only when my eyes finally adjust do I see the dark shape before me. Whoa. A soulless stoops over the twisted form of a caravaner. Caravaner? Yes. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch my direction and blink as one. Oh my. In that moment, I sense its gnawing hunger, an emptiness that cannot be filled, no matter how much blood and flesh it consumes. These, like, they're ridges, right? They get pointier as it goes down. But up here, they kind of look like fingers. Like, you see that? Little knuckle bones, little nails, and then down here it gets worse. That's interesting, right? No, just me? Okay. The soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and charges at me. I instinctively duck to the side and the beast barrels past, vanishing into the mist. A horse screams in the distance. I need to move now. If the soulless finds another victim, it won't be focused on me. At least, not right away. Do we run for the city or do we head towards the wagon? Let's run for the city. I take off, running deeper into the haze. Oh, I hope that's not a mistake. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm headed in the wrong direction, until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for the source, where the fogfall twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. Whoa. He knocks me to the ground and slips in a patch of mud. The soulless instantly falls on him. Oh, he's back. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with razor-sharp claws. He comes apart like wet paper, spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Oh, shit. My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gouge and torn deep into my palm. Oh no, this is not ideal. But the pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Traveler, can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. They reach for my hand and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No, don't touch me. The sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. Their lips peel back into a deranged grin. Whoa. Oh. I'm not doing that. He's laughing maniacally and I cannot. No. I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse, madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Die! Oh, damn. Ow. Sorry, I hit the microphone. spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks on my face. Ooh, that's a word that's not used often. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs shriek for air. We scream for help or fight them off. We're gonna fight them off. My nails gouge deep in the traveler's wrist, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. Well, nope. The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I'm going to die. And not because of the fogfall or the soulless, but because of my curse. Tears sting my eyes. No, 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 not here, not like this. But then their hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in that macabre smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. Oh. They give one last shuddering breath and slump over, the claws hooked through their stomach. Oh no. The soulless shoves the body aside, its glowing eyes narrow as though grinning. All of them? Oh. There's a flash of claws. Red spills across my vision. I thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth in the icy embrace of the shallow water. I spot an arm resting among the outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. Oh, not ideal. It should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die, cold and alone in a desolate wasteland. Oh. A fitting end for a monstrosity like me. So, okay. Oh, that's bright. Hold on to that thought for a second, comments. Let's see here. Come back to this. Yeah, this is better. Okay. See what we got going on. What happens next? More water. Shit out more water. If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror, nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But I take a reflexive breath and air pours into my lungs, then out again in a ragged gasp. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. What is that sound supposed to be? if you know, send me a gift. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin, a firm surface, but underneath me, a strange tang of sulfur in the air. Do not be afraid. Oh. I twist my head toward the voice. Tears flood my bleary eyes at the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding. But more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I had no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Stay away from me. My words come out in little more than a creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No. Wow. You just no. Is that it? Is it? You gonna change tracks for me, bud? What's going on here? Where's the rest of the music? Yeah. Synthwave leather joystick. Oh, we just played that. Is this how I skip forward? You're only gonna play the one song? Got a whole thing happening here. There we go. No. Who the hell is this? Sit up, lie back down. Let's sit up. I manage to push myself up on one elbow, but my head swims and my surroundings give an alarming lurch. Ah, a stubborn patient. I don't have the strength to dignify that with a response. Instead, I pull the sheet up higher and wipe my eyes until my vision clears. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light limbs his pristine medical coat. Is this a medical coat? Alright then. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I realize that I'm completely naked, except for a thin linen sheet. Naked, lying on a low cot with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. I plunge my hands under the sheet, though it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. Wait, hands as in plural? Question mark? So I'm pretty sure we lost a hand. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that that was true. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I brace myself for his inevitable disgust, but his courteous smile lingers. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I suppose the old hermit protected me as best he could, but that time was short-lived. a lonely reprieve shattered by his death. I've never felt safe anywhere, or with anyone since. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. That was nice of him. With a soft creak, he rises from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. This looks like a medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical concoctions line the counters in neat rows. The air makes my nose twitch, a faint whiff of smoke and something distinctly metallic. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. We'll be nice, I guess. Polite. Thank you. I should be polite if I can. Especially since I don't know who this is, what he can do, or what he wants with me. Thank you. You are very welcome. I will leave you to get dressed. That is a lot of mullet. With a curt nod, he leaves through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. He must be like right there. An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. Oh. I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off. And yet, the limb shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least, gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up and find myself bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens. The seconds tick by, and my arm remains resolutely healed, my surroundings pristine and quiet. Well, that's nice, I guess. In numb disbelief, I grab the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, bundled with a black woolen cloak. Oh, even a cloak? That's nice. But there's one thing still missing, my bandages. The doctor didn't leave me with any, though I know he saw my hands. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. Why not get gloves? I start opening drawers at random, and of course, that's when the door swings open. Doctor, are you looking for something? I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump against the cot. Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. Well, that's subtly threatening. That doesn't make me feel better in the slightest. But he makes no move toward me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and mottled skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. Nice. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I can help if you tell me what ails you. He looks pretty surprised. I doubt it. Traveling to Iridia was a gamble born of desperation rather than hope. Nothing has come close to curing my curse. And yet, my left arm twitches. The arm that was severed before my very eyes. The doctor's unblinking gaze follows my every move. It's clear he won't drop this without some sort of answer. The bandages protect me, and they warn others to stay away. I've tried every way of covering my hands, and this works best. Most people avoid touching me as soon as they see the bandages. Ah, yes, I get that. Like, if they were gloves, people wouldn't really notice. I mean, nowadays people notice. But if it were bandages, an illness then, or a less mundane affliction, spread by contact. I flinch. He doesn't even sound surprised, and that's far too close to the truth for comfort. Glare at him, or decline the answer. We'll decline. Well, it's personal, and I don't really want to get into it. That's what I tell people. I totally understand this response. I will often tell people that the reasons I wear gloves is personal, if they ask. Most people won't ask. But there are some people who just like get in your face about it. And they always assume it's germs. I don't know why, because the gloves I wear are not rubber or nitrite or anything like that. Like, you know, latex, that sort of thing. They're usually like daily wear type gloves. Kind of a spandexy, well, not spandex, that's the wrong word for it. Rayon, maybe? I'll have to look at them. But they're thin and soft and kind of cool to the touch. But they are clearly fabric and not rubbery at all. So not very protective against germs. In fact, probably hold more germs than I would like to admit. I do wash them regularly, but you know. Like, I really probably should watch them more, honestly. Anywho, so let me turn on these candles. Dark. Some ambiance. Okay. Doctor, I have treated every affliction under the sun. I may have answers that you do not. A bold assumption. Well, I mean, he's trying to help, right? He's probably also pretty curious. An involuntary snort of laughter escapes me. Where would I even begin? Would he even believe me if I told him? I shake my head. I need to know more about this doctor before he figures me out. Who are you? You may call me Kuros. Kuros? Kuros? Kuros. And where exactly am I? Iridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I can think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. Iridia, so I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan, barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment. Oh. Which you provided? Yes. Short, to the point. He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic addition to me. I frown and flex my fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine, thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on. Pardon? A soulless attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my arm clean off. But when I woke up here, healing such a mortal wound should be impossible. Either this man is lying or in possession of power beyond that of mortals. I could see him having more power. Neither option is particularly comforting to me. Oh, okay. The doctor, Kuros, pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. I do not know where you come from, but Iridia is the city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Okay. Information is power, and one should not give it or receive it freely. Since you refuse to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. You are new to Iridia, so I will overlook this specific breach of etiquette. Do not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? Wow. He glances at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit it, he has a point. I'm a complete stranger to him, yet he saved my life. I take a deep, steadying breath. This time, when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Xenius. My name is Xenius. It is a pleasure to meet you, Xenius. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Thank you for saving me. Why did you save me? We'll stay polite. Thank you for saving my life. I chance to smile in return, even if he won't explain how he did the impossible. There's no doubt in my mind I'd be dead if not for Kuros. Think nothing of it. Oh. I'm not sure if he's just being excessively courteous, but his words only raise more urgent questions. I have to ask, why did you save me? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Kuros. I feel like I'm not saying that right. I really don't think I'm saying that right, because it sounds weird. It feels weird on my tongue. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffed up. Sorry about that. Got a little bleed over here? Okay. What's happening? still muted. Okay. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. I've never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. My fingers find the edge of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what price Kuros might demand for such well-made clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption. I rarely come across such a fascinating patient. I blink. What did he just say? I simply meant that few would cling to life so resolutely, or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I could not help but being curious about you, Xenius. His voice dips to a soft murmur, and he abruptly looks away from me. You're pretty curious yourself. I don't know what to say to that. We'll give it back to him. You're pretty curious yourself. Am I? So that face says to me, am I? Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Clearly not. But you haven't asked me for any payment either. I require none from you. Travelers do not have an abundance of coin, and leaving you destitute in a strange place would be unethical. Wow. I guess that's fair. I fall silent, unsure of what to say. Nobody would help a horror like me for free. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? Whoa. A loud knock at the door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say anything else. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today. The knocking grows more insistent, and Kuros lets out a tired sigh. Please wait. Though he says it quietly, the clamor on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, Xenius? Oh. Between the soulless attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. I need directions to the Cenobium. The Cenobium. The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you will find it there. The Cenobian's gates open for precious few visitors, and even if they opened for you, you would not like what you found inside. My heart sinks. Is he saying that I came all this way for nothing? Risked life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I've only just arrived, and Iridia is the largest city still standing. There has to be a cure for me here. Then if not the Cenobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else in Iridia? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wet Wick and ask for Leander, the leader of the Anderstone. Excuse me? The Wet what? The Wet Wick. He sounds deeply unamused. Deeply unamused. Okay. That's fair. Let's see here. Follow the Adderstone postings. Adderstone. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you. That isn't much to go on, but Kyros points toward the back door. You will be safe so long as you do not draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. And that's nice of him. Though he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out the back door. Oh, barking. I find myself standing in a narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of empty chamber pots. Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets. My coin purse. Every last coin that I'd scraped together for the journey to Iridia is still inside. The purse doesn't even look like it was open. There were so few coins to begin with, they probably weren't worth stealing. I glanced back at the clinic's closed door. Kyros didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for a future favor. But he also said in Iridia, secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Kyros gives me a second chance and a lead on where I might find help. I better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. The line outside Kyros' clinic stretches down the road. Two thin peddlers queue alongside weathered elders. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. The cobblestones are treacherously rough under my feet. Deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. I knew Iridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all crammed together in narrow streets. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over me, and my stomach gives a faint gurgle. Vendor. This morning's catch, fried up, hot and fresh. Not too many eyeballs today. Fog-mutated catches are always a gamble, but beggars can't be choosers. I duck under the stall's grubby awning. A large fish leers up at me. Its three bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. What's the cheapest thing you've got? The vendor points at a metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Fresh long lads, 3 copper apiece. Don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment on the counter and take my meal. 2 streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of color, painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hands when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the words, "The Adderstone," printed above his head. If Leander is the leader of the Adderstone, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around the corner and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read, "The Wet Wick." The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Oh, nice. It's not even midday, yet the wick is packed. A loose collection of Iridians crowd the bar, taking up tables and gathering in the spaces between. They speak amongst each other in hushed voices, their faces drawn and grave. Seeing so many bodies packed in such a small, dim space is disconcerting. All the more reason to find Leander quickly. Excuse me. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring, and I'm considering searching the bar when a loud voice carries across the room. Now, I'm no prior or curator. I'm not much for paperwork or pencil pushing. And honestly, I don't even think those robes come in my size. I crane my neck, but the crowd is too dense for me to see the speaker. Gather round. I want to show you all something. There's no time to move out of the way. The audience surges towards the center of the room in a sudden torrent. I'm caught and swept along with them. Hey! The clatter of falling chairs and tables being shoved aside drowns out my complaints. I thrash and throw my elbows as heavy bodies press into mine. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. My hip knocks into a table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself, but the crowd has stilled. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Oh. If you want nothing but guidelines and practical policies and needless bureaucracy, you know where to go. I drag my eyes upward. A man towers on the table in front of me, arms spread as he addresses his rapt audience. But I'm not going to wait for word from on high. His impassioned words provoke nods and excited whispers. But nothing is as captivating as his brilliant smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage. And unlike those clerics, I don't need the abbess's approval to cast a spell or two. As he raises his hand above the audience, the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It seems I found Leander. These are our streets. We make our own luck here. He snaps, and a flash of green light erupts from his hand. Whoa. With a flick of his wrist, Leander conjures a ribbon of glittering light. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals unfurl. Leander raises the flowers with a flourish, and the bar bursts into clapping and cheers. A magic demonstration was the last thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. Leander plucks the shimmering flowers out of the air and turns in a slow circle. Now, who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table, but Leander's cool green eyes slide right over them and lock on me instead. How about you? My chest grows tight. Suddenly, I'm in the spotlight. Do I take the flowers or do I refuse the flowers? We could use a bit of luck. Let's take the flowers. I reach out to take the flowers from him, all too aware of my trembling fingers. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the lilies leave Leander's hand, they dim and they fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? He grins at me and I find myself smiling back. Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with a clink. All right, show's over. Back to work, everyone. The audience disperses and Leander heads toward the bar. Now's my chance. I start after him only to find myself face to face with one of his followers. Where do you think you're going? I need to talk to Leander. You and half of Lowtown. Leander's busy right now. Adderstone business. Come back tonight. After the moment we shared, surely Leander could spare a word. But the follower crosses her arms unmoved. I glance over her shoulder, hoping to catch a glimpse of Leander. As though sensing my gaze, he looks up, and for a moment our eyes lock. Then Leander turns away to murmur something to the group gathered around him. The follower moves to block my view. You hear me? I'm not looking for trouble. This doctor, curious, said I should find Leander. She's interrupted by a hand resting on her shoulder. Curious sent you? He said you could help me. Leander nods at the woman and she steps aside wordlessly. Follow me. He leads me to the crowded bar. There's so little room that his broad shoulders press against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Sorry about that. The Adderstone watch out for one another, but they can be overprotective at times. Lesson learned. Leander flashes me a broad grin. You're new to Iridia, aren't you? He says it with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No. But I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. My eyes drop to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What'll it be? Surprise me and add anything my friend wants to my tab. Water. Water's fine. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter. His sleeves right up, revealing a long, raised scar. I catch myself following its winding path across his forearm. Leander's eyes wander over me in return. When they lock on my bandaged hands, a bitter taste rises in my mouth. Here come the questions. Is there any chance Kira sent you here for cheap drinks or barely edible appetizers? No. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, sighing when it immediately falls back in place. That's the doctor for you. Always business. I'm not sure he even knows how to relax. The bartender pushes a pair of glasses our way. I don't realize how thirsty I am until the cool water touches my lips. Beside me, Leander takes a deep swig from his glass. So, how can I help you? I need to get to the Cenobian. As soon as the word Cenobian leaves my mouth, the group standing nearby falls silent. From the wary looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some taboo. Ah, it had to be the Cenobian. Leander pushes away from the counter. Let's continue this conversation outside. I rise to follow him. Oh, there we go. Change of scenery. Leander leads me into an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick. Layers upon layers of frayed and faded Adderstone posters plaster the walls. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his printed likeness is impressive, if abstract. Curious didn't send you here to ask for a personal escort to the Cenobium, did he? From his tone, he already knows the answer. No. He suggested that I reconsider. Yet here you are, asking about the guide anyway. He looks at me expectantly. I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my monstrous capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Are you aware of Iridia's particular currency? Information's worth its weight in gold here. I don't much care for outdated traditions, so I'll be completely honest. The Cenobium won't help you. They're more likely to torture you than lend you a hand. But the Cenobium's supposed to be a place of learning, a sanctuary. Sanctuary. The Cenobium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a fading world. If any place held answers, it would be the Cenobium. That's why I came here. Leander nods patiently. You're not the first person to fall for their propaganda. I grew up idolizing the Cenobium. I wanted nothing more than to join their ranks, to learn magic from the best, to make a real difference. I was young and blinded by the legends and legacy. I was so damn naive. He shakes his head. All it took was one trip here to Lowtown to show me the truth. Unless you've got a heavy purse or high-born blood, the Cenobian doesn't give a damn. They'll never open their gates for the ones who need help the most. Then it's all a lie? Things that seem too good to be true are often just that. It's such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. Leander watches me as though weighing something in his mind. But that doesn't mean you're hopeless. Far from it. I founded the Adderstone to help people like you. We settled disputes, slave feral soulless. Hell, we've even been known to patch a leaky roof or two. Whatever troubles you, we can help, free of charge. I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander doesn't look remotely surprised. Then you're looking for help with something serious, something not even Curious could crack. It must be a truly remarkable problem if you came all the way to Iridia searching for help. Tell me, how can I help you? Leander may not work for the Cenobium, but he is a mage. A powerful one if his demonstration earlier is any indication. Indecision gnaws at me. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this might be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a strained whisper. I'm cured. I'm cursed. I'm cured. I'm cursed. He looks me up and down, taking in my face and my eyes and finally my hands. Is that why you bandage your hands? My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I even finish, Leander pulls his left glove off. He flexes his fingers and grins. All right, let's see it. As he offers me his hand, a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm. I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I won't allow myself to hurt him, to see his face unrecognizably warped. I don't want to hurt you. I'll be fine, trust me. I've seen enough curses and hexes to last me 2 lifetimes, but I'm still standing. Do you really think Curus would send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. I'm twice as good as any Cenobian mage. If anyone can help you, it's me. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. I looked from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then I began unwinding the bandages from my hand. If you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can tie me up first if it makes you feel better. His attempt at levity does little to comfort me. With each joint I expose, I grow increasingly certain that this is a terrible idea. But if he's bothered by how my hand looks, he doesn't show it. All right, deep breath on my count. My fingers hover shakily over Leander's palm. 3, 2, 1. I tap his palm once, as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. Heart racing, my eyes dart to his face, but Leander only smiles gently. See? It can't be. When I reach for his palm again, Leander catches my wrist before I can pull back. I told you, there's nothing to worry about. He trails off when my thumb grazes the soft skin of his inner wrist. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain clear, a clear, soft green. Neither of us speaks as I trace the contours of his palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't anticipating. It's not as though I've never been touched before. My curse only extends to my hands, and desperation spurs creativity. But all that pales in comparison to this. I've never experienced such intimacy. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail. The grooves along his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the bones in his wrist. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand without dire consequences. I never realized what I was missing. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine hammers as fear gives way to excitement. We'll keep going. My hand glides over Leander's wrist, up his arm where smooth skin abruptly gives way to a raised scar. It matches the one that runs from his collar to the cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? When I glance at Leander's face, his lips part as he considers his words. Am I the first person you've been able to touch like this? My hand goes still on his arm. So far. Then is it everything you wanted? When I nod, Leander turns my hand to his to inspect the gleaming fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. There's no revulsion in his face, no fear. He looks up at me and grins. It's not every day I meet someone as enticing as gold. He winks and lets me go. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels like it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. I've really forgotten my manners. May I ask your name? I'm Xenius. Xenius. This curse of yours is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Oh, that's reassuring. I can tell you're careful, but it's best you kept this between us. Are you staying in Lowtown? I pause. Room and board was something I'd yet to consider. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. The Wick is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of Leander's followers have dispersed, or in a few cases, fallen asleep beside their drinks. Seems like it's a bit early for that. Who knows? Yeah, I should have gotten a drink before I sat down. Got any rooms left, or did my lot grab them all to sleep it off? The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. The usual room. Leander's laugh sounds slightly strange. No, not today. This is just for my friend Xenius. Right. Stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Have fun? Leander clears his throat, then holds the key out to me. I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. My treat, since you shared your secret. Food, drink, a warm bed, anything you need. Carefully, I take the key from him. It's small but heavy in my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, let alone free meals. The thought of an entire room to myself seems unbelievably luxurious. Thank you. Iridia is twice as dangerous as it is wondrous. Be careful out there. And if you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into a pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leander gives me a friendly wave before returning to the bar. I'm tripping over my words. Dusk glitters in the sparse rays of light illuminating the room. The furniture is tired, the walls cracked, and a large, lumpy bed serves as the centerpiece. I can't remember the last time I slept in a bed, and I never imagined I'd sleep in one tonight. When I collapse in the bed, the springs let out shrill squeaks. Finally, I can allow myself to rest. My eyes fall shut before long. Oh. Okay. I think I am going to call it there for now. For this impromptu stream. I appreciate you all hanging out with me tonight. And we'll see you. Well, I mean, it's not tonight, then tomorrow. Sometime this week. I hope everyone sleeps well, and if you're starting to